Dharmesh, you said on a number of occasions that it was now or never for this deal. In 2 months' time, less than 2 months, the window will open again. Will we be talking about Sancho once again? And take us through, Darms, and I'll come to you in a second, Raf, but take us through why you think it didn't happen and how that played out.
Look, I mean, mentioning Jadon Sancho every single day of this transfer window, and this was not just a summer transfer window pursuit. Manchester United wanted Jadon Sancho and made their interest known back in January. Borussia Dortmund made it clear then he's £108 million. That's not going to change. But United thought it might change because of COVID and the pandemic, but there was no COVID discount on Jadon Sancho. Instead, United then decided, we're going to sort out agents' fees. We're going to sort out personal terms. And that took, I can't even believe how long that took. It took them well beyond, weeks beyond the August the 10th deadline that Dortmund had set. And then when they did eventually make a bid, it was a strange one because it comes in the final week and the guaranteed payment to Dortmund would have been £35 million less than what they valued him at. So I just wonder whether United went into that deal knowing it was going to get rejected. Dortmund were always going to say no. Now, the issue that Manchester United have got now, because they haven't signed him in this window, and if they think, fine, we'll go for him in January, we'll go for him in next summer, they're going to face competition potentially next summer. They might not be the only show in town. I didn't say it's now or never. I said it could be the best possibility for United to sign Jadon Sancho in this transfer window because it appeared to be a one-horse race. They could offer Champions League football. They were the only ones who could financially do the deal. You fast forward to next summer. We don't know what COVID is going to do. How many clubs, if the forecasts are better, how many clubs could then afford to buy Jadon Sancho? And the way Manchester United have started, is there a guarantee they are going to be in the Champions League the following season? Because Jadon Sancho wants to play Champions League football. On the flip side, and it's a question for Rafa as well, have Dortmund slightly taken a gamble as well? Because they've been losing money for the first time in 10 years, not to the extent where they were forced to sell Sancho. But if we have another year that's as bad or worse as the year that's just gone, and they incur even more losses, are they still going to get £108 million for him next summer?
Well, Raf, what do you think?
I mean, as far as the summer valuation is concerned, we simply don't know. What I would say is that if Dortmund have a problem with money, then everyone else will have as well next summer. So that's going to be a bad scenario for everyone. I think the hope is that football will recover as the wider economy recovers next year. And we will have a different scenario in the summer. Look, Dortmund bought this player for, I think, less than 10 million euros. So the idea that they sort of have to cash in at all costs because, you know, this is such a big asset and they want to sell, is just not actually reflected in reality. They love Sancho being there. They love Sancho scoring all these goals, providing all the assists, helping them to maybe win the title. It's a big ambition of theirs, the first trophy since the first league title since Jurgen Klopp left, since 2012. They would love to win it with him. They need him in the Champions League, where they've been a little bit disappointing. They want to at least make it into the quarterfinals. So in sporting terms, they're happy that he stayed. I think the frustration or the irritation, I think is a better word, from Dortmund's point of view, simply came down to the fact that they were very proactive. They understood that United were in the running. They understood that Sancho was tempted to go there. They also, I think, realized fairly early on that there wasn't anyone bidding against United. So they said to United, these are our terms. And I think more important than 120 million euros was actually the deadline of 10th of August, because Dortmund knew if they sell Sancho in September, October, the 100 million euros will look pretty in the bank, but to them it's actually no use because they can't find anyone. Even if they do, clubs will ask them double than they would usually do because they all want the Sancho money. So once that deadline passed, United still labored, I think, under the illusion or maybe delusion that the price would come down. But actually, if anything, it entrenched Dortmund's position that he just couldn't leave. And once they went public with all of that, then I think a reputational aspect of it came into as well, once you tell your team, once you tell your manager, once you tell the whole public, all the supporter that he's not leaving, it's almost impossible to climb down. And United, for the reasons that Dharmesh mentioned, either didn't want to or couldn't make the deal on Dortmund's terms, and then basically spent 2 months, as we wrote in The Athletic today, playing a poker game against somebody who wasn't even at the table, which I think shows a lack of understanding of Dortmund's position and hurt them in as much that if you want to then pursue your B and C and D options, you should have done that starting August 10th, not September 10th or October 1st. And that's where they run out of time a little bit. And that's, I think, where the bigger knock-on effect was damaging to them.
Rafa, you talk about the lack of understanding. I've spoken to people close to Sancho, and they went as far as to say United may have shown a lack of respect, let alone a lack of understanding, because they almost just ignored the fact that Dortmund had put this deadline in place, thinking, we're Manchester United. We're not going to get dictated by another club about a certain date. October the 5th is the deadline, but really not taking into account all of the issues that you pointed out there, that Dortmund weren't even in the market for a replacement from August the 10th, because they had decided then Jadon Sancho is staying. And for United then to come in the final week, how can Dortmund then bring in a replacement? This was all in United's hands in a way, because the only thing that could have changed Dortmund's mind would have been Manchester United at any point. I still maintain at any point, putting up 108 million pounds. Even if they'd done 108 million pounds in the final week, Dortmund would have saved face if they had sold Sancho. If Sancho
No, it would have been too late.
What I'm saying is that the only way that they could have saved face if they sold him at 108 million pounds late in the window when they said they wouldn't, is if Sancho had gone to Dortmund and said, I want out, I don't want to play for this club anymore, because that's Dortmund's out almost. If they decide, right, 108 million pounds, if they had decided then, just say, it's a big if, I know, but if they had decided then, we can't refuse it. I know it's come well after August the 10th and we are going to lose face, but what we can tell the fans is this. We said he's not for sale. We said he's happy, but how do we keep a player who doesn't want to play for Borussia Dortmund off the back of an offer that matches their offer? Because that is what Sancho would have agitated for.
But the offer wouldn't have matched their valuation, because the valuation was tied to a time. And 120 million euros in October is useless to Dortmund, especially after being so public. I agree with you that Sancho pushing and making things awkward might have changed things, but he wasn't prepared to do that. And the other discussion is hypothetical. It was told to me in very strong terms that an offer for even 120 million euros at the end of September was not going to be enough to change Dortmund mind. That the only way that they could sell this, as you say, the only way that they could keep a face after being so public about the money and the deadline, was if an offer had come in that was beyond, much beyond that initial valuation. If United, just for argument's sake, would have said, okay, we want Sancho. We think Sancho is the English Neymar. Here's 150 million euros. At that moment in time, Dortmund could say, you know what? Yes, they exceeded our demands, but actually United never met the demands and spent a long time putting in bids or preparing bids or whatever you want to call it that undervalued Dortmund, having already missed the deadline by 2 months. So there was just absolutely no way they could do it, even if they had said, here's 120 million euros a week ago.